Well, last week we talked about how we have fallen in love with Memento products, and we showed you sticky stencils. Well, this week we're going to show you metal stickers.
And they are really fun and unique, fun ways to embellish your projects, but there's also some great ways to alter them, and stick around for that.
So please stick around for that. Come play with us. Well, here is our first set. We have two sets, so
look at that, all in just one set. Just beautiful.
They're just beautiful. There are many pieces in each package.
Right.
What I love is that they're $3.99 each, which I think is great. I think it's a great price point.
Sure.
Now they are all metal, and you're going to show how they attach.
Each one of them has a foam piece on the back. It is foam tape, just like that. You can see a little square. There are different sizes on them, and you just remove the little adhesive paper there and stick them onto your project.
Okay, so while they call them stickers, I do want you to know that they're three-dimensional. So, and look at that filigree on those flowers. These are some solid flowers with a rhinestone in the center.
Right, I love that. And so you've got a bright silver and you've got a tarnished silver there.
Yes, and then these are three large ones in this package with rhinestone on some. You can see the bird, the cage, the locks.
The lock, vintage. I love that look. I noticed that some of these have a little ring at the top of them, so you could actually use those to tie it onto something.
You could do it hanging from a thread if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Butterflies, of course. Now these are a bit flatter,
right,
but they are still dimensional.
Right,
and then
they're embossed there.
These are super dimensional.
So they're kind of thick too. Those are really fun.
And these are a little heavier. The others are quite a bit lighter. And then we have some birds.
And all of them have a really fine detail. I'm going to say out of the set, these are the only ones that they are painted black. And that's just kind of a really interesting look. And they're thinner too, so they're not as heavy.
It is, right. So this is the first collection. We're going to show you a few projects, show you a few things you can do with them.
Also, by the way, you're seeing all of these in kind of a silvery, gray, black thing, but I'm going to show you how to alter them to get colors that you want.
To change that, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to scoot these.
All right.
And then we're going to start with probably a really easy way to do them, and that is to use the 8 circles and scallops cutting die and give them each a little home.
Right, a little backdrop for each one of those bugs. And I love the love bug. Right. Hey, those are from our dazzles.
Yes.
Right.
There you go.
I can't remember which one, but
I can't either.
Check the gallery for that one.
So you can see the love bug, so that's cute. Now the flowers are just lovely. This is with the oval cutting die.
That silvery accent. Each one was backed with paper too, so cut out to fit the back of that. So in both of these cases, the foam tape is just removed and they're just placed on the project. So
just simply, very
really
easy
quick
to do.
Add.
We did have to add some dazzles there. Now here is the first of doing some altering, and these are those solid flowers.
Right.
And what's the coloring agent?
So what was used to change these is Inca Gold. It's a wax paste, and we've talked about, we have another webisode with Inca Gold on here, so check that out, or the product video to see more on it. Beautiful colors. There was a blue. I think that the yellow was used in this one, or maybe that's the gold. A pink and a green. So all of these great colors.
Anything you have, use. Right? That's the rule.
And it was really simple to do. I'm going to leave this here because I want to show you. I've got one of the little bees, and I stuck it to this just to make it easier for me to do.
Not going to fly away on you.
So I've got a little sponge here. I'm going to get the Inca Gold out with this sponge.
Now, and that's something we've learned. I think on one of the demos you used your finger, and we've learned that it's really advised by the company not to use your finger because it can bring in contamination.
Right.
And sometimes that contamination leads to mold growing, and then your stuff isn't good.
Right, so you don't want to do that.
Use
it's
an
okay to do
applicator.
this. If you need a little more than this out and you want to use your finger, take a palette knife and remove
scoop a little out.
Yeah, scrape it over here, and then you can put your finger in that part of it.
So we're going to have a pink bee, are we?
Yeah, we are. Isn't that cute? A pink little bee. So very simple. Just dab that all over. I don't mind if it gets on the paper because I can remove it from this. I'm just showing you that. You just go over that, and you can add it a little bit more. You can get it thicker and thicker here.
I can see the difference on the two wings.
Right.
That works
really
nicely.
Press it on there and sort of burnish it.
Wow.
If I want to
that was
use my
exhausting.
finger, then I can put it on here and burnish it a little bit. So fun.
Nice.
Just to add a little bit of a highlight, something a little different.
And
to get it to match your papers.
We've got so many colors of the Inca Gold, this is what you can end up doing now. I think that was done on Dazzles.
Oh, I think it was.
Look at that.
It certainly looks like it. So those were white Dazzles, and the Inca Gold was put right on there. So
and
Inca Gold can be put on just about anything.
I think you're right. And also, look at these butterflies. Look at the color.
Isn't that beautiful?
It almost doesn't even look like the same thing.
Right.
It's
so
just,
several different colors. Yeah.
And you're going to get that highlight of the of that glimmer that you get with the Inca Gold.
So one of our new embossing folders was used on the background as well. Those are the vines, I think.
Right, it's the leafy vine
and embossing folder, and then the Inca Gold was placed on top of it, and so
Inca Gold is a keeper.
Right, and so are these great stickers because I love the rhinestones in the center of them, all ready to go.
It's hard for me to call them stickers when they have such dimension.
Right, and they're metallic, they're just very
I love it on the Dazzles. That's good to know. Okay, sorry. Okay. Now we also have another set, and let me bring this in. You know, like those, what was it, 6 or 7 wasn't enough.
All right.
We have some swirls. We've got some corners.
Right.
We've got some cherry blossoms.
And there's a couple of different kinds of these swirls. This one is rather flat,
and they're etched.
But they're etched a little bit. That's a good word for it. And so there's a little bit of a design on there. I'm trying to get it to where you can. There you go. So that's a really unique look. And then
pretty with the Inca Gold.
It would. And then some of the other swirls, they're heavier. They're a darker look. I actually have something to show you with this one, a different way to change. Oh wait, I'm going to show you that one later.
Okay,
anyway,
show it to her later.
But I will show you something. We were looking at those birds before. And are we still looking at these?
We're still looking at these. We've got keys, and we also have the sewing.
I love the sewing notions.
Yeah, very nice. Now these are heavier. These are thicker. The corners and the cherry blossoms, and of course the swirls are a little bit lighter. The keys are kind of in the middle. So just a variety.
A nice mix. And I love the smaller corners, the larger corners.
Now you want to do the bird?
I do want to
go ahead.
In the last set we showed you the bird, the painted bird, but you can try this on all of them and see what the effect you get. But on this one in particular, I think it's a great idea to sand it because it's going to remove some of that paint that's on there, and look what's underneath. It's kind of a coppery look underneath.
Ooh.
So that's one way to change it.
Pretty
Isn't
that
beautiful?
Is, yes.
So that's one way, excuse me, to get a coppery look. But if you want to get a different coppery look, you can get, here's one of the keys, so you can take any of them. I've got a little cosmetic wedge here, and I've got metallic stays on. Now, you know, stays on metallic comes in several different colors. We have it in copper, silver, and gold. So you can change that key to whatever color you want by doing this. You can always also do this with a Surfaces ink. Surfaces inks come in different colors besides just the metallic colors. So I probably could use tweezers or something to hold that down, but there you go. You see the different look.
Yeah.
So there's a copper, and there's a sort of a copper that comes underneath that painted look. So a couple of ways to alter that.
Nice. Now here is a combination of the sewing stickers as well as that swirl. And this is the new Bendi card. So I hope you saw that on Paper Wishes Live. We introduced those. There, I think, are 5 in a package with 5 envelopes. This one I've already attached, but super simple to do. You mail it flat, and then the recipient is
just
simply going to,
and then there's slots right there on the card.
Slots and slits.
Cover it with your paper.
Before,
Put it on those little slots, and there you go.
And it is a gorgeous card. In fact, every card I have seen in the Bendi shape has been drop dead gorgeous.
And I love this about these little sewing notions on these pieces. So here's the sewing machine down here, and the twine has been wrapped around it, tied here, wrapped around the spindle at the top, and then if you follow my finger up, you gotta move the card down, up to the thread, which is wrapped around in place there.
And that's using the jute. We have a package of 12 of them. And that was also on the first card, also use the jute.
That's lots of fun using the
just
different
very,
colors of
very
jute.
fun.
Yeah.
Now, you want to show
Beautiful.
something else?
Should I? Yeah. Okay, so here's something. Here, pull that back in a second.
Okay.
So you've got these great looks. You've got the silver, that tarnished silver, but what if you wanted to change it to sort of match your card a little
Gail,
better?
what if I wanted to change it to match my card differently?
Well, you get one
what
of
would
those,
I do?
Those little pieces. I happen to keep pulling up the birds because I had them handy. You can use any of them for this, not just the painted birds. The other ones will work as well. And we have a whole line of metallic effects. This is the mica powder.
I love this.
It's super shimmery, comes in all of these great colors. So pick a color to match your papers or whatever you want to do.
Ooh.
Get a little of the metallic effects. I'm going to put it right into the lid there, just a little bit of it. I'm going to get just a little bit of water, get my brush just a little wet.
Really? You're going to paint it on?
I'm going to paint it on. Just get a little, I need a little more water.
I would never have thought of that.
There we go. Oh, well, okay, that's why I'm here.
That is why you're here. One of the many reasons you're here.
So we mix up with just a little bit of it,
Really?
and you can paint it right on there. And it will stay on too.
I am astounded at
You let
that.
it dry, and you've got a nice little painted bird.
Ooh.
And if you get more powder, it's going to stay on a little bit more even. Get more of a pasty look. I had a little bit too much of water in there. But I just think that's great. Let it dry, and that's fun.
Oh, you could, oh yes, and that's going to
Little
match.
painted bird, you could even, I could have made it the bluebird
You
of
know what?
happiness, but see, it matches the
It's the
artful
purple bird of
watercolors.
passion.
And there you go. Better.
Wow, that's very neat. Okay, very, very good. Now, we did show you some frames, so here's a way that you can use them on a card. This is a little smaller card, but just does a nice job of framing, as you can see. So beautiful look, and this is out of the paper, so it's not part of the metal stickers,
Right.
and just a gorgeous look.
But it's just what a really easy way to frame those thoughts. That's just kind of a unique way of using them.
It looks to me like you've got something else to show and tell.
I could wait, but
Yeah, no.
I'll do it now.
No,
okay,
go ahead and do
so
it now.
here are one of the little corner brackets. This has a similar finish to what you had there. And I've got some embossing powder.
Embossing powder.
While this has got a kind of a dark black background with this gold on top, which is great for
Yes.
lots of looks, there are also lots of looks where I would like that to be silver.
Or shiny silver.
Shiny silver, really a different look entirely.
shiny glittery
So I've got
silver?
the Versamark, and you can either press it right on there, or you can use a sponge to try to get into all those little intricate pieces of that. And I'm going to use the sponge. Let's see where you can see it. I've got the Versamark, I've got a sponge, I'm sponging it on there, make sure that I've got Versamark all over that piece. Then I'm going to sprinkle it with the embossing powder. Move it onto paper here so I can do that. And just douse it on there.
Yep.
And you know, when it's metal, the thing to remember about embossing on metal is that you don't want to touch it with your fingers when you're heat embossing it.
Because metal transmits heat.
Right, it gets really hot, and so I'm going to use, whoops. Okay, great.
And you can chase it around the table, which will be fun too.
I was grabbing it the wrong way. I was grabbing it from the top, and I should really be grabbing it from the edge. I did test this before.
You did,
so
huh?
Pick it up.
Okay.
There we go. I'm holding on to it like that. So
Are you
I'm
gonna
going
emboss
to
it?
move. I am going to emboss it because I
Okay.
want to see what that looks like.
I do
when we're done.
too.
So I've got my heat gun, which is, oh no, it's not coming
Is it
all the
plugged
way.
in?
It's plugged in, but it's kind of wrapped around something. Here we go. I think I got it just far enough to where I don't knock something over. Here
Okay,
we go.
good.
So turn that on, hold this up, and here we go. Shouldn't take long. Try to keep it close where you can see it. So that should like superheat it right away, and here we go. Is it turning yet?
Almost.
I'm kind of far away from it.
Are you?
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
Turning. There you go.
I think I got it. Takes a little bit longer. That's interesting. It took a little bit longer on the metal.
I would have thought it would have been,
how
pretty.
But worth it.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that beautiful? At this point, I would remove the tweezers and grab it from another area if I needed to touch up any areas.
Oh, that is stunning. Okay, just think of all the colors. Now this is a silver glitter embossing.
Not glitter,
no,
silver,
just silver.
Metallic. It's a super fine metallic. So all of the metallics I thought would look great on these, but you could do this in neon and glitter and any color embossing powder you wanted to make it go with the papers that you've chosen.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, I have one more project, but we also have another way to alter them.
Yes, we do.
This time we are scrapbooking because you know we love you scrapbookers. And this has really been embellished richly. And so you can see the blossoms coming up here. We just had to add some dazzles into the center. The corners are also there, again, with some dazzles.
It's just beautiful. I love the little cherry blossoms. I love the dazzles placed on there. It really helps them to pop.
And then going up the side. And yes, if you're thinking this might be a little heavier than normal, it is. But we want to show you a large variety because you can always scale it back if you want to. Notice the keys. Gosh, I'm thinking those would be beautiful with some of the techniques you've shown. And nice to add that to a heritage page or masculine page.
Right. Well, this looks gorgeous just the way they are. Imagine them in some different colors.
Yes.
And or maybe sanded, or sanding is a really simple way to bring out a different color and make them a little bit shinier.
Now, I think you've got one more trick up your sleeve.
One more technique that was really going to alter this and make this an interesting look. So I have another one of those flourishes here.
Okay.
And I have flitter glue. Does everybody know what I'm going to do already?
You're going to, yes.
And I've got some of our gilding flakes. This one is Sunlight Speckle Gilding Flakes. So you've got a little gold and a little silver in there.
And someone asked, what's the difference between the gilding flakes and the mega flakes?
Really?
They're two different manufacturers is where we get them, so they have different names. They're both metal flakes that have been put together in a recipe to create another look, and so that's it.
So I'm just going to get some of my flitter glue out here, and I'm going to use the sponge to just get that all over. Just want a nice even coverage over the top of this piece.
This is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun, and it's going to be a little messy. I'm going to get it on my fingers because I sort of have to hold on to this piece with my fingers while I'm working with it.
Must be why we did it last, huh?
Correct. So there it is. That's been flitter glued pretty effectively. And now I'm going to add the gilding flakes. Should I do it on the craft sheet? I could just,
if you like.
Just going to dump some of those on. You can do it with mega flakes, with
Turn
the
off
gilding
any fan.
flakes.
Don't be sneezing.
These are the gilding flakes. I just thought it was a good color.
We have a fan on.
Yeah. And then I'm going to press them in with my finger and sort of rub them off.
And don't forget, you want to keep all those bits and pieces because it's all reusable.
That's right. Eventually it's going to go back into that container.
Yes.
Once I feel like I've got it pretty well stuck on, I'm really doing a lot of push. Gosh, you can see it already. Pushing up and down with it and moving it around. Then I'm going to take the scoochy sponge and do the fine detail work of removing. I'm not going to press too hard because something about the glue on the metal, you don't want to press too hard. It's not like paper. It's a little smoother, but you see that it does stick on there very well.
Does.
And look at that already.
It's fun to see the shape revealed.
Yeah, I want to tap it off a little bit and make it so that you can see in there before. And in this case, because it has dimension, you're probably going to have to pick it up. And here we go around the edges. Look at that. It's just beautiful.
Okay, stop playing with it and show it.
Okay.
How pretty.
Just gorgeous. Isn't that? Oh,
yes.
I want to keep playing with it.
I know you do.
Am I done? Do I have to stop?
Well, just a second. I want to get a dark piece of paper to place it on, just so we can really appreciate what you've done. Okay, yeah, thank you, John, for getting closer. That is spectacular.
Beautiful.
Okay, so what we want to say, we're going to scoot things over, is that Mementa has done a marvelous job of creating these metal stickers in 400 designs and shapes.
And we have them in 2 bundles,
We
lots
do.
of different ways to mix and match,
But what
easy
you can-
to embellish.
And use them as they are. They're lovely, but
You can alter them, make them any
Yes.
color that you need to using some of the techniques we showed you.
yes, follow Gail, you can't go wrong. See you next week.